Alright, round 5, essentially. I didn't do one last week due to the weather. It was severe fog, and even on the best conditions, you only have a few seconds to react with the roads I have to take to really go anywhere, let alone pretty much no time to react with the severe fog. And that's due to people not obeying speed limits, especially the rock trucks who go seemingly as fast as the vehicle will take them, especially on that lovely Ronald Reagan that had to be built. People wanted it, but more on that later. I'm going to read all of what I plan to say. I'm going to have to pick up next week at Commissioner's Court because I ran out of time. You would think after all the months I've been doing this since October, I would be better at it. Clearly, I'm not. I don't want to do it. I shouldn't have to do it. And I'm not a people person. So I mean, all this together and the vibe I get from the commissioner's court of I don't want you here, go away. Well, I'm not going to go away. You're destroying my life with taxpayer money. No one seems to want it when I ask them, but continues to be done. So, as I was starting again because technology is so great. I keep getting told all this construction is planned, told the people want it, told it's the law. I planned on being in the military till I'm wheelchair bound. Clearly, that plan changed. No sane person would keep their same velocity if they see they'll get into a wreck. They'll veer off or stop. So why are Wilco citizens being forced into a collision? The answer is poor planning. Housing being built is exceeding road availability. As long as more houses are built, the more roads are going to be built, and roads will never catch up to housing. I say again, we're repeating history. Everyone sees the collapsed bridge up ahead, yet not only proceeding, but picking up speed. But hey, long as the law is being obeyed. That right there is due to construction companies getting tax rebates. And if no one wants this construction, then why? Because the tax rebate the construction companies get, and really any business gets, the taxpayers have to make up with higher taxes. I mean, what's cheaper, treating grass or buildings? I mean, Walmart. I mean, look at this Amazon deal where it seems to be standard of 10 years no taxes. Are you kidding me? But yet they charge customers taxes, they charge employees taxes. And, so not only are they getting paid for anything they use, be it equipment, time, what have you, they're getting a tax rebate on that. So it's essentially getting paid, uh, you know, 250% with 150% gain on anything they spend. And I really think there'd be less construction if that wasn't approved, because despite them following the law, it still has to be approved. I could follow all sorts of laws. Please pardon the omission. You know, I could be obeying all sorts of laws on, I don't know, extension onto my house. I could qualify for some rebates, but nothing says they absolutely have to be granted. You know, so clearly there's corruption somewhere. It's just finding it, and even if it's found, nothing is done. So there's no incentive to not be corrupt. There's almost every incentive to be corrupt. Anyway, moving on. But as long as the law is, oh man, allergies. Law is being obeyed. In a word, those who can stop the construction pandemic but fail to do so say fail to say no are essentially tools. Someone with a hugely inflated ego who attempts to gain undue attention in their deluded state thinks their actions will make them look good. Ego far exceeds talent, intelligence, and likability, and lacks the ability to realize they're being used. Commissioner Covey, that sign at the end of Ronald Reagan, your name is on it. I lack the ability to see its necessity. I've been told citizens voted for the bond. They're footing the bills. Shouldn't say taxpayers instead of Covey. In a meeting, I was accused by the county of wanting to abuse or break laws, receive special treatment. If Commissioner Covey did conceive that waste of taxpayer money road, begs the question on how it was approved. Just because a given law is there doesn't mean it has to be done. Let's say someone busted open my door. By law, I could remove the problem if I had the means to, or choose not to. You know, someone comes in my house and I had the means to stop them. I have the right to do that. The law would be on my side. Unless it's police and war and all that good stuff. Let's say it's a bad guy. I have the right to do that. I can, but I can also choose not to do anything. It, you know, food on my plate, I can choose not to eat it. Typically, it's children who lack the capacity to make those type of decisions, and yet Wilco commissioners want not only to make a mess of things, but mark what they consider their territory. There exists no reason to destroy people's lives with their own money. You want to mess the carpet, want to mark territory, buy it with your own money, not ours. Currently, on this very commissioner's court, have someone well versed in the medical field and an architect. Nothing being done is helping Wilco in those areas. More built, the longer response times. Buildings are not being built to resist the types of tornadoes the area has experienced, let alone the hurricane weather we will have. 8-minute warning for tornadoes. I can barely get on 35 in 8 minutes, but somehow the housing developments are safe. That's not considering if citizens receive the 8-minute warning. How does anyone have the ability to tell them with a straight face, this court has our best interests in mind? Quote, the very laws they bend and break. Only reason anyone wants this is because everyone is told everyone else wants it. Saying that invokes a herd response. Once heard, people normally won't rock the boat. I, for one, refuse to protect a broken system. You know, yeah, I mean, just it even happens at Sam's Club. You got that music, and I complain about it because it's super loud. On top of that, the people are super loud. The louder the music, the louder the people, the louder the music becomes to compensate for the people, so on and so forth. And I ask about it, and they go, well, people want it. And then I turn to like 2, 3 people, hey, you want this music? And they go, yeah, no. So, saying everybody wants it is just to get everybody to not rock the boat. I mentioned a few times that there's a way to remove the county from all debt, if not majority of. Offered twice. I don't offer anything twice, not even to friends. The reason I offer twice is after hearing 45 dead in December fires in California, knowing that tragedy and devastation to land can be prevented. A reason the offer was made in the first place is I plan to sell the idea by county or city. If I do all the work, I'm going to get all the profit. Just because Wilco is my county doesn't mean I'll give my idea to Wilco at a discount, let alone free. The offer means Wilco will be not only the first, but at no cost. Not taking me up on my offer only shows the majority of the current commissioner's court wants us in massive debt. The flip side being, if I'm taken up on this and there's nothing, well, I reckon I'd have a big problem if I show my face again, especially here. My word will lose all value. And I plan to say more because I have to pick up. Uh, yeah, I just have to pick it back up. I didn't finish it, but it's you don't build the housing. You don't need the roads. If you don't need the roads, you're saving money. And Covey herself is bragging about saving 10 million. Well, how much is spent on the roads being built? The needless housing, you know, because most of the housing seems to be in the county property, you know, and they just hide behind, well, it's private property. The company bought it. Well, yeah, who sold it to them? You're telling me a construction company is going to subsidize the property into housing? You know what's going to happen. You know, I might as well hand a known terrorist a gun when I was in the military. Well, I know you're going to shoot me, but here you go. Here's a gun, which essentially happened. You know, we America taught them, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, and Covey brags about saving 10 million, but goes, oh, everybody wants this, and then it creates a problem. Then she goes, well, here I am, the glorious Miss Covey, to solve the problem. Well, that didn't quite fix it because we're now in debt and we saw no profit off of this. So let's create a solution to get that profit. And then there comes the housing and the buildings and all that other BS that no citizen seems to, well, I guess they are citizens, but no citizen seems to want. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I guess that's it. Thanks for watching.